All right, let's get more on this. The ANC reacting to Malusi Gigaba's resignation. I'm now joined by the national spokesperson, Pule Mabe. Thank you for being with us in studio. So you're applauding him?
Well, not applauding. We are noting the resignation by Comrade Malusi as Minister of Home Affairs, and have considered all the facts that he brought forward, including the meeting that he had with the head of the state, President Ramaphosa, prior to him issuing a statement on his resignation. This is a demonstration.
Was he pushed, Mr.
Well,
Mabe?
there was no push. He has resigned out of his own will and volition, placing the movement and the country first before his own personal wish.
Because last we heard he was fighting for his job. He was telling the president that he did not lie about the Fireblade saga.
That's why, stepping aside, according to the statement that he had also issued, and on the facts that we have now become aware of, is that it's not an admission of guilt. It's an act that will allow him to deal with all the challenges.
Did he really choose the revolution over himself, or did he just fail to save himself?
Well, he did. The fact that he chose out of his own volition to step aside means that he had sought to prioritize the interest of the organization and the country beyond his own as an individual. And this is commendable.
Then should he not have gone a long time ago, Mr. Mabe?
Well, he has taken that step. He has come out in public and conveyed his own decision. The ANC is on record as noting this act of courage and saying this act of courage is consistent with the resolutions of the 54th National Conference, which seek to now return our cadreship to the true values of the movement, which is about the restoration of the integrity and good standing of the African National Congress. Of course, Comrade Malusi remains a member of the National Executive Committee, and we believe that with the kind of experience that he has gained, having served in Parliament and having served in the National Executive of the Republic of South Africa over a period of time, he will be able to become an important resource and add to the work that the movement is already doing to drive forward the program of unity and renewal.
So on one hand, you say you believe in integrity. On the other hand, you're saying he's fit for office. He's fit to be part of the movement, even though courts have found that he lied.
That's why he said, let me step aside.
Yeah, but you're saying he can still help.
He is a member of the National Executive Committee. He was elected by the members of the African National Congress to be in the National Executive Committee. The courts did not speak about the NEC. Remember that...
the court spoke about his character, so surely that matters to the ANC. You're talking about integrity.
I'm sure that you are also aware that the courts had to do with his work in Parliament. The ANC has pronounced itself on the statement that he has issued, which had to do with him stepping aside as the Minister of Home Affairs, including attending to the challenges that have arisen. We have not in any way cast aspersion or doubt on his persona as a cadre of the African National Congress.
But the courts have. So let me ask you the same question I asked the presidency. When the courts found that he had lied, why did the ANC not demand his immediate resignation then?
Well, it is incumbent upon a cadre of the movement to be able to take the organization into his own confidence and then say, I believe that stepping aside would give me a sufficient time to be able to deal with the challenges that have arisen. I think that to step aside from this one, it is important that we commend the courageous act taken by Comrade Malusi, which is quite exemplary and encouraging, because he took it up upon himself. He said, I am putting the people of South Africa and my organization, the ANC, first beyond my own personal individual interest.
But you're saying that he will still benefit the ANC in future?
Indeed. I mean, the experience gained, accumulated over a period of time. We're talking about a man who was the president of the ANC Youth League. We're talking about someone who began as a deputy minister under President Mbeki, someone who was deputy minister under President Zuma, later became minister, someone who became minister again under President Ramaphosa. We're talking about someone who has been in the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress since 1996.
And someone who's had state capture claims hanging over them for many years now.
That's why, you see, you will find that we are the only organization whose cadreship is able to take a stand and clarify accusations when they are leveled against them. Cadres of the ANC do not say when issues are raised against them, they run away. Comrade Malusi has taken a stand. He has, and I mean, this also shows the maturity of our own democracy. You know, the measures taken by our own cadres to be able to come forward and say, allow me to step aside, deal with these challenges.
Later. So you're saying he's courageous. Does that mean Batabile Dlamini, another minister who's been found to have lied, is being cowardly? She's staying in her position?
Well, I don't even think that we should try and step to that.
Are you going to ask her to do the right thing?
We are talking about Comrade Malusi, the statement that he has issued, his resignation as Minister of Home Affairs. We should not even find ourselves having to deal with many other issues, because when we do that, we might end up communicating a different message.
Directly related. She was also found to have lied by the court. You're saying it's the right thing for Malusi Gigaba to go. Wouldn't it be the right thing for her to go?
Well, the statement of Malusi Gigaba says nothing about him admitting to this or that. He says, I'm stepping aside so that I can deal with the challenges that have arisen. You must understand, people must be accorded an opportunity to deal with challenges when they are raised, especially when those challenges have got to do with their own character or responsibilities that they might have been expected to discharge in whatever role that they might have occupied.
Besides the issue of him lying, besides the issue that you say still has a home in the ANC, are you not undermining the state capture claims against him? They are only claims, but those claims coming up again in court, in the Zondo Commission rather. We're seeing Barbara Hogan saying that she was independent, that she left. We know that Malusi Gigaba then stepped in and implemented a lot of the decisions that she didn't want to. It seems like the ANC was always there. Gwede Mantashe was there when she was offered a diplomatic post. Are you not undermining those claims because the ANC is being implicated again? Well,
Comrade Zizi Kodwa, today, as part of our own communications team, was tasked to be able to convey the position of the ANC as it relates to the State Capture Commission. You'd remember that the ANC has long said that the party is not on trial, and the party will be able, at the right and most convenient time, be able to deal with the issues that effectively touch on the party.
But the party is being implicated. If I ask you just to look at one, she said that the ANC called her in when she said something about SAA being privatized.
Yes.
She was going against government policy, but she wasn't called in by a government minister. She was called in by the ANC. In finality, does the ANC have a problem with the distinction between the state and the party?
Well, the ANC has never had a distinction between the state and the party. I mean, we constructed what you would call a democratic dispensation in this country. We are the ones that championed the national...
So there should be no distinction?
No. I'm saying the ANC doesn't have a problem with that distinction. The ANC understands fully well what is the role of the party and what is the role of the state. For instance, houses are not built by the ANC. Houses are built by an ANC-led government. So we understand exactly what needs to happen. We know that President Ramaphosa is the president of the state. He is also the president of the African National Congress.
All right. Unfortunately, we have to leave it there, but thank you for your comments this evening. That was ANC National spokesperson Pule Mabe. Now, the ANC are reacting. You heard what he said. In another reaction, it's reacted with disappointment to the criticism by a former Public Enterprises Minister, Barbara Hogan, against the party's deployment committee. In her submission to the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture, the ANC member and former MP, Hogan, accused her own party of interfering in the appointment of board members of state-owned enterprises and questioned the relevance of that ANC committee.
When Republicans take over, they clean the top echelons across the board. Democrats bring their own top management. When Democrats take over, they do the same. And it is never criticized as cadre deployment.
This deployment policy under fire by one of their own. But the ruling party is defending it, claiming it as a wild phenomenon.
The deployment committee of the ANC does not make appointments. we can only recommend to show our interest, because as a governing party, we've got to show interest. Our showing of interest is not about individuals. We look at the caliber of a person that must be appointed, experience and skills.
The ANC ready to make its testimony before the Zondo Commission.
Our legal team and the legal team